What it do, soul fam? Welcome to Readings by K&M Witchery. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of you who may not know, and I'm excited to dive into your New Year 2025 predictions. Yes, we'll dive into everything you need to know now to make this year as optimally successful, happy, healthy, and wealthy as possible. So behind each pile, you will uncover specific channeled messages, advice, and clarity based on the lessons, experiences, and potential challenges you're meant to have within this year. Your pile could highlight anything from love to finances, or perhaps something in between or beyond. We will keep it general in this pick a card video, so be sure to make it your own and leave the rest for other Soul Fam viewers. I will be channeling through anything and everything that is meant for you as a group. So remember, this is a YouTube reading. Only take what applies, leave the rest for another. Hit subscribe, join the tribe, and let me know in the comments below what resonated with you, how, and why. It really makes my day to hear from you all. In the extended, linked below, the VIPs will receive a full deep dive into 3 categories based off the information we gather from each pile here today. We'll dive into love, career, and health, so be sure to head on over there should your curiosity pique. And lastly, if you're interested in something even more in-depth and oh so personal, you're invited to head over to KNMWitchery.com to explore various one-on-one personal reading options that I have available for you, which are currently under an extended sale until the end of February 2025. So please feel free to take advantage of some extra savings while you can. Now, let's learn what's in store for you in 2025 and pick your piles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tune into your powerful intuition now. Can you hear a number or two replaying in your mind? Perhaps you're unable to get your eyes off a pile, or maybe, just maybe, you have a funny little feeling, an absolute knowing that behind this particular pile lie the clarity you're searching for now. Take your time, pause if you must, and select your pile or 2, or perhaps even a few. There is never a limit, and I'll catch you on the other side. Hello, beautiful pile number 1. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. Happy 2025 to all of you. We're going to be diving into what awaits you in 2025. The lessons, experiences, potential challenges, whatever is meant to come through for you today. My intention is for you to receive everything it is that you require. We'll be channeling messages for you based on this pile that you've chosen and any other one that you may be drawn to as well. And in the extended, we'll dive into deeper specifics using tarot. So we'll be looking into love, career, and health. That is linked below should you be interested. And please, Soul Fam, remember to like and subscribe for more contents from me, K&M Witchery, because I'm excited to connect with more and more of y'all and do what I'm here to do, and that is be an intuitive guide. So however it is that I can be of assistance to you, it is my absolute pleasure. Without further ado, let's dive on in, shall we? Up first, we have allowing appreciation, resistance, focus, friction, liberating love. Just gonna scoot you over there, candle. A new romantic cycle begins. Ooh la la. Let's actually, just trying to make this all visible for you without overcrowding the cards here. Don't let your past hold you back. Got some South Node energy here. confidence, freedom, and last but definitely not least, we have focus. That came out twice. That's very interesting. Okay, so mind over matter is going to be very efficient for you to be working on, okay? There seems to be, and I just heard that you might be resonating with another pile. My nose just itched. For those who are new, if my nose itches, my Accuray tends to go up on those particular messages for at least one person in here. So if you have been pulled to other piles, hey, follow your intuition, because when it comes to where it is that you place your focus this year, especially when it comes to overcoming obstacles, right, and finding a way around the obstacles, mountains typically are a symbol for obstacles. Wherever it is that your focus goes, your attention will flow, the manifestation will go, which also could be your Achilles heel, if you will, meaning that if you're going to consistently keep focusing on what isn't working out and finding a way to get over this mountain as opposed to perhaps maybe around it and find different solutions than you ever have before, because there's going to be a new cycle coming on in, you're only going to create further friction in your surroundings. Okay, now I do want to mention that you might be a Sagittarius, and or Sagittarius season in particular is one of great importance for you. Now, I know we're obviously doing this in the very beginning of the year. Sagittarius isn't until the end. There could be some really beautiful aha moments, clarity and resolution and absolute change that will happen by the end of this year, which is really great because that means you've got the full 12 months to work with. And it will be important for you to also balance out any impatience, okay? When it comes to allowing appreciation and liberating love, which by the way, come with their own affirmations. So you are free to take a screenshot should you resonate. We have, if of course it's going to focus. Focus, camera, hello? Thanks. The value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it, as well as I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I am willing to give. Reciprocity is the name of the game for you this year. What it is that you put out, you are hoping to receive times 369, okay? You had once a resistance. It could be to love, since that is a highlight here, although because this is a general reading to introduce the extended, it doesn't always have to be around love romantically. Okay, even though it does say romantic cycle here, but work with me here, right? You could be romanticizing life. You could be romanticizing a career. You could be romanticizing the future that you are now focused on increasing and moving towards. You could be romanticizing your sense of freedom and being able to travel, which by the way, mid-year, I want to say like just before the official summer start till fall, there's likely going to be ample travel for you. So expect that. And there's going to be a really great increase of your confidence and just overall how it is that you view yourself. With the South Node here, there is a lot of karmic work that I do want to say that has been done in 2024 for you. And this is going to be a year 2025 where now you're going to be really solidifying so much of what you've learned from the past, what you can take from the past and move forward with it, as opposed to feeling as though that's just the way it's going to be, case point blank, whatever. And it's just like, well, I can't change because this is my reality, or this has been my upbringing, or this is just how things are, or economy, et cetera, et cetera. Like you are right now in 2025 going to be either further developing and or shifting away from resistance based on how it is that you have been raised, the traditions that you are and have been hoping to break away from. You can be really introducing more love and allowing people to actually give to you as opposed to resisting a lot of that love, right? Like we're going to now feel free. We're going to liberate that love. We're going to be more willing to receive our bounty and what it is that we have been hoping for so long. It's very interesting here that resistance and friction are being highlighted for me at this moment because it felt as though for a long time you have been juggling what it is that you want based on, let's say, what your family expects of you or what society has deemed possible for you based on XYZ. It's like you've been fighting yourself and creating this friction, if you will, with a version of yourself that you wholeheartedly believe you can be, and you can envision that version of you existing, and it feels good and it makes you happy, and then quote unquote reality hits and you're like, well, this is what it is that I want, but this is what it is that I gotta juggle, right? So now it's about really switching our focus here. Again, focus is going to be a big one for you. So what it is that you choose to spend all of your time, especially your mental energy on, that is what is going to continue to expand. So believe me, you are going to prove yourself right if all you're going to do is convince yourself that nothing is working out. But if we shift focus to what is working out, what has been working out, all of a sudden, instead of obstacles, we see solutions. We see those hidden paths, or maybe we build up the ability to fly. You know, I mean, mountains look teeny tiny. Well, actually, they still look massive, but you know what I'm saying? When you are flying over them, you're not in the valleys trying to work your way through all of the hills and exhausting yourself. You're able to find a completely different perspective to fly on over. Right? I mentioned Sagittarius. Now, you don't have to be a Sagittarius here, but Sagittarius energy is really coming through very loudly. So let's work on that, okay? Let's play with it. Let's work on our wanderlust and our philosophical way of looking at life. You see, you might actually be really introducing a lot more of a spiritual perspective into your day-to-day, perhaps maybe into particular aspects and categories into your life. You might be introducing spirituality and or religion, right? Anything that really has your spirit doing some work and building up on that faith, right? You're going to see that it's going to increase your level of confidence. Now, there is something here that I'm also seeing about saging. So you might be called to things that inspire more of a smoke, right? So Palo Santo, you could be looking into sage, white sage or otherwise, any other kind of like burning type of products, such as candles too. That just might be something that helps you clear out your space and perhaps maybe clear out some of that unnecessary information from the past that is keeping you stuck and stagnant, right? We mustn't let our past hold us back, which means the future is in our hands, which means the world is yours, which means that when we start opening up to the world opens up to us as well. That means that people are going to be approaching us with a lot more respect, with a lot more sense of understanding just how valuable you really are. And I just swallowed really hard there. You have been experiencing for the longest time, pile one, needing to do everything for everybody else. And maybe you're a mother, maybe you are the one that is to take care of your family, or you just have a greater expectation on you, or you're perhaps maybe such a people pleaser that it doesn't matter who it is that asks for a favor or gives you a task, you will do it to the point of absolute exhaustion. Well, in 2025, you're going to be taking more of your freedom back. And you might be asking yourself more often than not, what do I want? What do I want? What is the life that I want to lead for myself? And introducing a sense of selfishness without actually creating any further conflict and judgments from others, because you, pile number one, are already so able to give love. It's a matter of actually opening up to receive more of it, right? And love, again, doesn't have to be romantic. It could be in a form of platonic love, of respect, of people in your career or the types of clients. Like, there's a greater appreciation that can flood into your awareness and your consciousness and your experiences, but only if you allow it, right? You might be incredibly closed off. There might be something here, especially when it comes to this, and we're going to definitely be diving into more details in the extended for this, because I want to see where it is that you've been blocking yourself from. But you could have been scorned, right? Maybe someone, whether it was romantic or platonic, maybe a best friend, a family member, or maybe it was all of the above, and you just, yikes, kind of had those kind of rough experiences where people took advantage of you, or they disrespected you, they weren't loyal, they didn't appreciate you, they took you for granted. I mean, there's all of this like heaviness here where no wonder you've chosen to be so closed off, right? No wonder you've been resisting from allowing that love and appreciation to pour on in, because you've been so focused on your healing. And what I'm saying is, you will now have the opportunity in 2025 to actually experience everything that you have been working so hard to welcome into your life. And that itself might be its own challenge, because when we have created a nice little protective shell over us and we've closed off from receiving some of that due to likely very valid reasons, as per some of the examples that I had already provided, or very well your own, pile number one, learning to open up will take so much faith and vulnerability and trust in yourself, not just the other. In yourself, to be able to learn and establish a sense of discernment, so you know when it is that it is time for you to reset those boundaries, or to take a step back, or to maybe reassess how it is that you're showing up and what it is that you're allowing any types of behavior or people taking advantage of you again, right? Like, you have worked so hard on yourself and increased your level of confidence that now it's time for the world to see it. But the world cannot see it if you're closed off, right? Like, if you're closed off and you're in that hermit mode, you're shying away, you're just focused on the healing, we must also remember that our healing, the purpose of healing is for us to live, right? Like, if we're going to constantly keep viewing ourselves as some sort of a friggin' like passion project and always something that needs fixing, and I mean, when do we enjoy? When does all of this hard work on internally shifting and healing and opening up, when does that pay off? You're not a project, pal one. You are a human being that is worthy of experiencing love and companionship and respect and friendship, unity and interconnection. And that will require you to allow it. Not so simply put, right? By earth and air, water and fire, let my confidence take light, burn higher. You're going to be experiencing, or rather have the opportunity to experience, because free will is always taken into high consideration when it comes to me and my readings, in particular personal readings and one-on-ones. I can right here, right now, tell y'all what it is that could come, but you can actually squander it, sabotage it, delay it, derail it, say no to it, should you choose.
let this be your yes year. Say yes to the things that you actually are curious about, that light up your spirit, that have you be seen, that no longer hold you back. The new moon in Libra, okay, if we just remove romantic out of the equation just for now, and knowing that a new cycle begins with Libra, an inanimate object, the only inanimate object, by the way, in astrology, with a new moon, we are now starting with a blank slate. Everything has been balanced out because your hard work has been and will continue to pay off. But we must also be the judge of that, meaning that this year in 2025, you're really going to undergo a new sense of grounding where you get to deliberate where and how your energy flows in such a way that it's going to regain your sense of control. And it will also rebalance out all sorts of partnerships, career, friendship, love. You could be in a relationship tuning in and might see a new romantic cycle begins and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to break up with my, no. Or you might be romanticizing again something else in your life. Or maybe you're going to allow this beautiful relationship to take its next step. And I'm not even just talking about engagement or having a child, although that could be the case for some of y'all tuning in, but just a level of deeper connection with your mate. Why not? Why does it always have to be something tangible, something like a ring? You might be in a relationship and for the longest time have been, I don't want to say begging, but have been expecting and asking for a ring to solidify your relationship. But this year you might be like, you know what? I don't actually need it because I love you and I know you love me. Isn't that like a really crazy shift right there? Like, what do you mean, huh? But why not? A ring doesn't necessarily have to mean anything, really. It's just a ring. It's a stone or a crystal or a diamond, whatever, and some metal. That's it. Your love isn't as tangible, and yet it can still be felt. It can still be increased. It can still be poured into and expressed. There is a new cycle that emerges in 2025, and it is going to be so much better than you have ever expected. It is liberating. It is freeing. It is a breath of fresh air. And new beginnings come with their own challenges, because now it's like we're fighting those parts of ourselves that have identified a pattern once upon a time and have noticed what has and what has not once worked out, right? And like, so we're using all of these past experiences as foundations without actually remembering, or perhaps maybe this is a friendly reminder to remember the work that you have done. When we heal ourselves and we do this internal work and we go to therapy, we read those self-help books, or we meditate, or we just do what makes us a little bit happier. You know, it doesn't always have to be talk therapy. It could just be a walk in the woods, a reintroduction to an old hobby and habit that brought us joy. Let's say like something artistic, right? Or maybe you started reading books, or maybe you discovered your love of a particular instrument, or I don't know, for me it's YouTube. I really enjoy editing and making videos and such, right? So I want to pour into that a little bit more. It could be literally anything. That changes things entirely externally from us, because then we start prioritizing things differently. We start shifting. We start going with the flow in a complete different way. And what's really cool is your flow is above water. Yours is an air flow. Yours is quick. It's like it reaches new heights than you have ever allowed yourself to experience before. And that might feel like you're a fish out of water learning how to breathe. And you will learn how to breathe. You will. Perhaps you already have, and you just have to keep reminding yourself sometimes. You know? But it's now time to learn to allow. Allow more of what makes you happy. Allow whomever in your life, again, platonic, romantic, professional, and otherwise, to give to you. Whether that is a review. I mean, how silly is it that, like, I've often forget to ask for reviews, actually, for my business, because I'm like so about like my clients and stuff that I'm just like, well, yeah, what about me? You know? But when I do receive a review, it like literally lights up my life. I'm like, oh, wow. Like, that is so sweet. I have these words now to remind me of the work that I'm putting in, not only to my lovely soul fam, but for myself too. It increases my level of confidence and wants me to show up even more. How does that statement mirror an aspect of your life? Can you replicate it? Can you allow interconnection and a beautiful balance between what it is that you're putting out with what it is that you're willing to receive, so that your cup never runs dry? It is just overflowing with more love and tenderness and kindness and appreciation and assistance and anything else that it is that you want to provide. I mean, isn't that what it is that you have been working so hard for? So you might be battling that this year a little bit too, right? There's going to likely be some resistance and some friction there because you're fighting who you were with who it is that you already are. We're going to remove the illusion that the person that you are working so hard to become is someone that will only be obtained if they accomplish X, Y, Z, or at a particular age or something. No, like, why not embody their values now? Why not express themselves now? Why not have them already be you now? Not you in 10 years and 5 years and 5 months from now, or when I'm this, or when I'm married, or when I'm that. Like, what? Why? In order to be, we must become? Or in order to become, we must be? You are already everything that you have been working so hard to become, especially in 2024 and much sooner. But 2024, I can sense with y'all, it was quite a karmic year for you, right? Like, putting an end to things, really solidifying your new path. 2025 will allow you to experience more of that, and it has to come with you allowing it, okay? That's the lesson, experience, and potential challenge for you. And it is, honestly, I think the payoff is really, really beautiful. If the payoff means that, okay, so for example, right, there might have been a shuffle within like your friend group, or let's say like your careers, right? You've chosen to leave toxic environments and relationships, and now you have to build up new ones, right? Like, allow that to be a fun curiosity. Allow your discernment to insert itself with that level of confidence that you will always make the right decisions for yourself and keep the right people, places, and things around you, and build up that trust within yourself. And then allow that to increase your level of focus towards the direction that you really want to be in, because there is no more resistance. There is no more friction. You might get into perhaps maybe some qualms and misunderstandings with people who don't really get what it is that you're doing because you've changed, pile one. But isn't that the whole point? Isn't the whole point of our soulful evolution to change and grow and experience more in this human experience? Why not do things differently? I understand that there is a challenge in being the quote unquote black sheep or the one that completely breaks the mold. But as one whom has done that and continues to time and time again, I will tell you that it is worth it every single time. It is worth the blood, sweat, and tears that you have put into already healing. Now just allow that healing to pay off in a form of more life experiences. Better than you have ever cultivated and experienced before, because before you didn't have the knowings, the realizations, and the discernment that you have built and created for yourself. You have that now, which means that you can quote unquote restart certain things as a completely different person that you already are. You already embody the qualities, the life, the values, the belief systems that you wish to have acquired in the future. You already have them. You already are. You are powerful, Padawan. You are confident and you have everything. So stop fighting yourself, because fighting yourself will only increase the fight with others. It'll only create the resistance and friction in others, when really what's required is for you to switch that focus, okay? To go around the obstacle like never friggin' before. I love the fact that focus has come out twice. Now, if you want to increase your level of focus, I will invite you, should you ever be interested, to my intuitive therapy page on knmwitchery.com. I facilitate hypnotherapy as well as neurolinguistic programming to my beautiful clients whom are looking to increase their focus towards the direction that they are seeking to embody more of. So if you want assistance to break out of old limiting beliefs and patterns and perhaps maybe emotions and memories that kind of keep you stuck and fragmented in the past that you are feeling is too great of an obstacle for you to do on your own, please know that you always have the resources that you require should you just inquire, and KNM Witchery is a place that you can do that. So my consultations are free. There is an extensive form that I will request for you to fill out. We will meet. I will create a package that is just for you. So should you be interested, that's available over here at knmwitchery.com. Okay, my darlings? All right. Is that it? I heard yes. Okay. So, quickie little update about a half hour in. If you are interested, my beautiful pal number one, I hope to see you on Patreon/KNM Witchery for the extended. We're going to be diving into more specifics of love, career, and health using tarot in about as soon as I actually stop this beautiful reading here. So, that's it for me. Let me know in the comments down below how it is that you resonated. Did this help you? And offer you some motivation and clarity on how it is that you are to pursue the rest of your 2025? Let me know. I absolutely love hearing from y'all. And if you do have any other pick a card ideas or anything else that you may want to see from me, let me know as well, okay? I would love to build a community based more on what it is that, again, how it is that I can help y'all. So help me help you. And be open to receive. Please ask more of what it is that you want, Padawan, okay? That was a quote-unquote little test, a little nudge for you to tell me what you want so that you can receive. You never know, Padawan. I love you so much. See you in another pile. And if I don't see you in another pile, I'll see you on Patreon. If I don't see you on Patreon, I do hope to see you in another video. Much love to you, Padawan. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Go get him, Tyga. Peace. VIPs for pile number one. What it do, baby? Let's dive straight on in, okay? We're going to be diving into your love, career, and health for 2025 based on a lot of what it is that we've already uncovered in the YouTube general reading. So let's dive in, because love, I think in general, we're going to look into more like romantic, but it doesn't always have to be the case. So we'll see what comes up, okay? Because love, love offers us a window of opportunity for us to connect to other people as well as ourselves, greater than we ever expected us to, right? And so there seems to be here another romanticization here of like options, okay? But what's really interesting here is like, single or not, you're actually kind of like dabbling between, do I want to be more alone or do I want to be more connected, right? And like, I'm sensing a little bit of like friction here, like the ability to decide really of like where it is that you want to stand and how you want to feel satisfied and happy in life, you know, but why not have both, right? We have mentioned already that there's going to be like this really beautiful rebalancing and reshifting, right? So why not balance out your solo time with perhaps maybe time dating or with your partner and such, right? We have the Strength card with the Five of Pentacles, and thus in love, we're going to have these opportunities to increase our sense of self-worth, which in confidence, we too have learned. This is something that you're going to be increasing. The Five of Pentacles comes out when we feel unworthy to receive the help that we could possibly obtain should we just remain open. Usually it's depicted by somebody sitting outside of like a church wall and the lights are on. They can just say, I would like to seek sanctuary here and help, and yet they don't, right? And being that the Five of Coins is also my value card, what it is that reflects externally from us and how people treat us is a reflection of how open we are to be treated in a really healthy manner as well, to be open to receive more. And thus the Strength card comes on in here to say that we will be able to increase that level of self-worth, especially when it comes to love. And it might feel like friggin' a whiplash, just because I take everything as a metaphor and my camera flipping over is no coincidence there. Hello, what it do, pile number 2? Thank you so much for stumbling across this video and taking some time with me today. Let's dive into what awaits you in 2025. We will dive into general lessons, experiences, potential challenges that you might face in this new year. We'll channel in all of the messages that you need. Okay, and it's based on everything that lies behind this pile. In the extended, we're going to deep dive into specific categories using tarot. So we'll be diving into your love, your career, and your health. So if you're interested in that, it is linked below. Otherwise, we're just going to do everything that's over-encompassing everything, right? So if you already resonate and relate it to an aspect of your life or more, or the entire thing, make it your own. Okay, and please remember to like and subscribe for more content from K&M Witchery. I am super excited to give y'all as much content as I possibly can and be of guidance and service to you. I just like being here, so I hope you come along for the ride, because that would be really nice. Without further ado, let's dive on into the cards. Unhooking the past. Rebirth. Oh, I love a good rebirth. We have time. Mask. Rewriting the subconscious. Ooh. I'm liking this energy so far. Surrender to the divine. Yet another full moon. We have a personal issue reaches resolution. I love that. New beginnings. Wow, pile 2. Success. Oh yeah. And last but not least, happiness. Oh, that's so beautiful. Let me just shift all of these up here for us. Pile 2, I feel giddy. I feel pretty, oh so pretty, and witty, and gay. And I pity, do 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 do. Have fun. Sorry, that was like really unnecessary, but it had to happen apparently. Oh, intuition's fun that way. Y'all are onto some really magnificent things, okay? When it comes to you, my pile 2. Okay, there's like so much music going on, so I mean in my noggin there, all right? My clear audience is on fleek right now. I'm not going to be mentioning absolutely every single song that comes through, but just know that it is a jukebox up there, okay? So music might really have a great influence on you. I would definitely suggest, especially if you're rewriting any unconscious thoughts there. By the way, when I say unconscious, I guess people usually mean what I mean by unconscious by subconscious, but like whatever. Anyways, sorry. In any case, let that not confuse you. Let's move on. Y'all are dealing with some really powerful transformations that will require a greater emphasis on the content that you consume, the people that are around you. Essentially, you're recreating your current environment in such a way that every integral detail is going to be of utmost importance, especially with mask being here. I like this because it seems as though you are now really embracing your authenticity. Masks are coming off, right? And where mask also comes into play, and that is especially shown with all of this blue here that I'm being brought to right now, are all of the individuals that you will come across in this year that you are going to be able to read them to filth. You're just going to know when people are lying to you at such, you probably already do, to be completely honest with you, because this kind of ability and level of awareness and emotional intelligence didn't just come out of nowhere, okay? But it's just, I'm sensing it's going to be kind of more maximized for you this year. And I think that's a really good thing, because when you are truly not just stepping into your authenticity, but when you embrace your authentic way of being and self-expression and all of that, and you do things for yourself, as yourself, and that makes a difference and shifts everybody else around you, that shift and that impact on others actually demands their own authenticity. It demands them to actually start speaking the truth too. So where I'm even saying that you might really notice when people are lying is you can see past the facades, right? Very similar to actually myself as an intuitive guide and a reader and a psychic medium. I look at somebody in the middle of a reading, well, the first 5 seconds, and I'm like, okay, well, this is what's going, like I could just read their energies, and I know when they're hiding something, or when, even if not just from me, but like just generally, you know, like I bring that out to light for my beautiful clients, because y'all, pile 2, you can just see what people have so deep within them, and you have this really beautiful ability to bring that to light, and it makes such a difference in people, and it has made a difference in yourself, so much so that now you're paying it forward. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage and a lot of ego deaths and dark nights of the soul and grievances and changes on all fronts to truly be able to state, I am authentic. Because in this day and age, in this generation, for the most part, it is a really difficult thing to truly accomplish, because we are brought up in generations and expectations and societies and economies and privileges or lack thereof that paint a narrative for ourselves and how we are supposed to live. And yet here you are. You've gone through the muck and guck of transforming into a butterfly, going from that caterpillar into that mush and that cocoon, right? Like the caterpillar doesn't just grow wings. No, it completely like deteriorates and it turns into just nastiness. And then it completely transmutes into a different type of being. And what I am seeing for you is a complete change in environment, in lifestyle, in routine, in, I just heard cultures. So you guys might literally be moving like countries or something too. But overall ways of being, you have now taken such control of yourself and thus the way that you perceive life and how you experience life, that it's kind of like you even started to manipulate time. You're like aging backwards, which is really lovely, you know? It's nice when you feel younger and people comment that you look even younger than what you might be, right? Like there's this, and it's not even that like, because I believe that y'all are an old soul. And then there's still this like beautiful joy about you that brings about imagination and fun and freedom in such a way that y'all just like a breath of fresh air. And where this butterfly comes into play for me as well, 44 might have something to do with y'all too. It's a big highlight here for y'all. You're no longer going to be in a way like associating with like the caterpillars, right? And that's not even because you don't have love or appreciation for them, but it's because you can fly now. Like you have wings. You don't see butterflies and caterpillars hanging out. And like, imagine if your family, your friend group, your whatever the heck, you know, like you love them so much. You turned into a cocoon and you've done all that internal work and now you're a butterfly, and that family of caterpillars, in this metaphor, haven't done the muck and guck and growth and cocooning, and they are expecting you to sit around on those same leaves and walk around when you have the ability to fly and you can see the world, and you have a job to pollinate too. Like you got, I think butterflies pollinate. No, like I'm pretty sure like they move stuff around. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is like whatever butterflies are meant here to do, even if it's to send somebody a sign of like spiritual recognition of maybe like a passed on loved one or something like that, maybe that is all a butterfly's journey is about, for a person to perceive them and say, that's my grandma, that's my nana, you know? Like I'm sure there's a lot more to that, but I'm talking about like deeper spiritual connections and affiliations and retribution that we're not even fully aware of unless we embrace who and what we have become and what we are to do. And it's not even that I'm sensing, at least in comparison to another pile, you're not in your methods of like despair and like the times where you're really grieving or anything. Y'all are already, y'all are living, and you're going to be really truly experiencing 2025 in the most authentic rebirth kind of a way, where you are so in touch with yourself and thus your intuition and the impact that you have in this world. Like I feel that you guys are really going to be stepping into your purpose more and more. When you know who you are, nobody can friggin' rock you. You are in a way untouchable. And I'm gonna tell you this, we're gonna see also in the extended, right? Like when we do a really true deep dive, because I sense that there might actually be some haterade coming your way. Not everybody likes that you can see them, okay? People jump to their own conclusions, will make their own assumptions about you. And the thing is about being authentic, right? Is you no longer fit somebody's box or perception of you, their definition of you. Like you are not just one thing, you're not just three things, you are an embodiment of like a collection of really cool things that just make you who you are. And like, how is it that you can maybe be like such a business professional one day, but then also like this spiritual guru, but then also like this artist, and you're also a singer, and maybe you can also dance and move your body in a way that like nobody really expected? What if you can do such fantastic things that don't just compartmentalize you into one way of being like so many people like to do? You have been willing to let go so much and surrender to yourself that like with Cancer being a highlight here, like this was a really deep internal change, and moment of silence to that transformation that took place. but so much healing has been done and accomplished. And it's never to say that you're never going to feel low or whatever again, right? Because like, I mean, if we're living in authenticity, then we're willing to embrace those uncomfortable emotions or aspects of ourselves, right? And you'll be able to really get over things a lot quicker. This year, you're really going to be resolving one thing after another. I'm sensing a lot of radical acceptance with y'all, coupled in with ample emotional expression, which is really good. But where people are not really going to like you so much, by the way, there's going to be so many people that really do and adore you, and like the admiration is going to be high. Y'all are going to really be like, I don't know, people are just going to be incredibly inspired by you. And I just heard you're gonna be popular, so do your thing. Okay, I'm telling y'all, you with the freaking music. And those who kind of dislike that, you're not even really going to be that much phased by that either. Like it's going to be so much less drama than maybe even other people may intend for you. You're also just going to be able to pick up very easily and efficiently when someone is wishing you harm, or when you got the quote unquote evil eye, or when someone's like monitoring you and like, you know, trying to manipulate your outcomes or your energy. When you fly this friggin' high, baby, you are untouchable. That's because your vibration is not in allowance of their impact on you. You know, like I'm kind of sensing like a bit of like a pish posh here. And people underestimate the jungle that you had to go through in order for you to successfully have this type of really beautiful experience. So I know, like, generally speaking, I am sensing some travel. There's going to be some beach time or something. I'm also hearing walking. So y'all might be hikers. A lot of nature time here, which is really good. I keep hearing like there's specifically boots on like crumpled up leaves or something, like twigs and dirt paths. Like there's just so much walking. There's so much walking. So that might be a literal meaning of like lots of hiking and walking. It can also mean that you're going to be trudging in brand new territory and fast and efficiently, and you're just going to be moving further along this year, metaphorically and perhaps literally, than ever before. Like this rebirth right now, like you're reestablishing who you are, how you function, where. What are the affirmations behind these cards, by the way? I'm curious. We have, there is nothing to regret when I learn from my past. I love that. As well as the more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. Yeah, it comes down to that emotional state, right? So even in focusing on being good and not feeling bad as much, it's just a matter of allowing emotions to be expressed as they are required to come up and be expressed, right? Like, as in no suppressing and no, well, repressing is something that you unconsciously do. You're not really fully aware of it because your mind is keeping you safe from something. But suppression is a choice. Suppression is choosing not to feel something or experience something or do something. You're procrastinating on feeling emotions, which then get lodged into your body, which can create illness, which is another thing I'm gonna say about this Cancer energy here, okay? Especially on a full moon, like you can experience like more visceral reaction, more somatic reactions and stuff too. So if, number one, because I'm being told to tell y'all this, if you have been pulled to speak with someone whom actually specializes in somatic healing, then go ahead and do that, because I think that that might be really, really good for you. Also, I work on the unconscious realm, so if you're interested in hypnotherapy or neurolinguistic programming, you let me know as well. You can definitely fill out a lovely little consultation form with me. It's totally free at knmwitchery.com on the intuitive therapy section, so you have that available too. Any form of emotional releases through the physical body that you are being pulled to further adapt in 2025, you are highly recommended to do that, okay? Because like that will help you just continue to go through these rebirths without going through so much of that muck and guck that you have already gone through, right? Like that cocooning, and like I feel like it's been like years for you. My nails just itched on that. Like there's been so much transformation that like, yo, pile 2, like it's time to now like it's such a different vibration between you and another pile. Like it's so crazy. I feel like the messages are so similar and yet the vibration is drastically different based on like, if we're looking at time in like a linear state, right? Like you're here and like that pile was over here. I'm obviously talking about pile 1 considering these are the only 2 piles I've read so far, but like if you come from pile 1 and you're also tuning into pile 2, like this is a crazy, wonderful uphill like progression. But notice how I said uphill. So it's still going to be a little bit challenging and yet like, wow. See, I'm hearing waves when I touch this card. And I hear crunching of leaves when I touch this card. So lots of nature time is prescribed, recommended, and definitely likely to manifest. Should, of course, you choose that. But like if you're not much of like a nature person, I think you might be. Especially if you're really going to be surrendering to the divine, like there ain't no way better than to literally be in the divine. And that is like our heaven on earth. It is our nature. It is the trees. It is the entire network of fungi that is like, it's water, it's flow, it's connection to Mother Earth. Y'all are going to really find a lot of really beautiful redemption as well, for past ways of being and existing. I feel like you're also going to be forgiven a lot for the mistakes that you've done. Like I think that like y'all have really paid your dues as far as your karma is concerned. And that's not to say that you're a bad person or you made a lot of mistakes or whatever, but like you're human, right? Like sometimes we just don't friggin' know any better. And this is going to be a year where you're going to feel a lot of that be like relieved off of you, okay? Like the masks are off. Like the ability to forgive and be forgiven is going to be something that is really high for y'all this year. That's just really freaking beautiful. Like I think that you guys are just being given such a clean slate, but there's no more work to be had other than just doing your best to maintain your authenticity and experience life as you are meant to experience it, day by day, minute by minute, just being super grounded. Easier said than done perhaps, but for you I think it honestly is easier said than most people, well not even easier said, easier done than most people say. If that makes sense. I know it does. Anyways. There's something about your birthday this year too that's going to feel like it's like a general rebirth. I don't know how old y'all are turning, but you're going to feel ready. Like I just heard Jesus here. So you could be turning 33 or you could be turning 34 and you just completed that Jesus year. That's something that I did. I'm 34 now, but oof, that was yeah, 34 turns into my rebirth year for sure. 33 and before then was just, it's too much. Like I'm ready to experience this. If I could be honest, if there's any pile that I relate to so far, it's definitely pile 2. For sure. Also, you might, if not already, like you could be in a relationship. I'm sensing a lot of you are single tuning into this deck, or this pile rather. So if you are, just know that you are likely going to meet a high level soulmate. When I say things like twin flame, honestly, no. That's no hate, but like twin flames are like catalysts that it doesn't feel like that type of relationship here. I think it's a higher level soulmate that's just going to bring you even closer to yourself and happiness and experiencing things without like the hardships and things like that. Like people misconstrue things like twin flames and they think it's like the ultimate like white picket fence, like, oh my God, the second half of my soul type of a thing. It's not like that at all. Speaking as someone whom is a twin flame and really resonates with that, it is not what y'all think it is, and it is totally okay to beat to your own drum, okay, for whoever needed that tangent. There is likely going to be a higher level soulmate coming on in, like a best friend type of an energy here that is, there's just so much laughter and play and so much less hardship. And like, yes, there's going to be like catalysts for change, but it's going to be so much less like feeling like you have to touch rock bottom every single time type of vibes. Like it's going to be easy. It's going to be love and happiness and wow. I really hope that resonates and that comes to fruition with anyone who it applies. I mean, if not necessarily a relationship, although honestly, I think that might be the case for a lot of y'all whom are tuning in, whom are single. This could also be like a best friendship, okay? Like you might meet somebody that like is just, it's your soulmate. It's a higher level soulmate. Soulmates don't always just have to come in the form of romance, right? It could be a platonic, like you can meet your person. You can meet your best friends, and there's a lot of laughter and stuff there. It could also mean that you could, if that doesn't resonate, but like you're moving somewhere physically, I am sensing that you just might fall in love with the area that you are moving to or that you visit or something, and that just might change something within you, you know? I've been there before, and it is a lovely feeling when an entire environment, like, and everyone and everything in it, for the most part, is just like, wow, and yep. There might be a big thing like that coming your way, if not already. So if you have plans to be moving somewhere or visiting somewhere, again, like somewhere in nature too, like there's lots of walking, so there's lots of journeys that are very high potential here for my pile twos. Take the offer and go and explore and allow whatever to be, because that is also where you're going to be able to really live in your authenticity as well. I find that it's always kind of easier to start fresh and to live authentically and such when you actually move away from like your family. You move away from all of your friends. Like you move, and I'm not supposed to say that you have to make it permanent, but as someone who has moved a lot, it has made a great difference as far as like quote unquote like finding myself and like really living in my purpose and things like that, because even your best friends kind of have you in a box and in a particular way, you know, but like when it's just you and like a brand new country or city or vibe, and like people meet you clean slate, like they're meeting your clean slate, like authentic self, like that, it's just a different kind of experience. I don't know how to explain it other than like I recommend doing it, because the more that you travel, the more that you just get to be with yourself and the world, the more you actually uncover more of yourself and who you can become, and like everything is just turns into like a really beautiful adventure. And yes, there's of course still challenges, okay? We're human. I'm never going to be the type of reader that's going to be like, you're never going to feel a day of pain in your life, because that's unrealistic, and it's also not how this human experience works. And this year for you, Pile 2, I am sensing a lot less of that, thank goodness, and a lot more peace and happiness and just so much gratitude. My heart space is just filled with so much gratitude. And I hope that you turn a lot of that gratitude inward and recognize the beautiful growth and transformation that you have been on, because so few people are as willing, and a lot of them just don't know, like they're just uneducated in transformation and stuff, right? But like that's where your will comes into play. You chose, Pile 2, to take advantage of the ability to learn, and you wanted to uncover so much of yourself. And if you hear my dog barking, ignore him, because I don't know why he's freaking out. Oh, Halo. It's very distracting to me when he does that, because I don't know what that bark is either. He's freaking out about something. That's not a playful bark for him. Anyways, sorry. That's my intuition kind of peeking into my puppy. Where was I? Live authentically. I feel like that's just the overall of your reading here, pile 2, and it's a beautiful one to have. So keep on experiencing the beautiful rebirths and the adventure and the joy in life, and keep embracing your humanness. You're still going to be releasing things and trusting in the divine and in your beautiful path right now. So just enjoy it. And again, any haterade that comes your way, whatever, let them be. Continue to remove those masks and stand tall and being a beautiful impact on other people to do the same. And you will inspire many. I know that. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. Let's dive into the extended, where again, we're going to dive into a lot more details. Using tarot, we're going to dive into love, career, and health. So yeah, if I don't see y'all in another pile, I do hope to see you in another video. Do please let me know with a comment down below why you resonated, what resonated. I love hearing from y'all. I really do. It makes me so happy, and I'm excited to connect with more of y'all this year. It's also my 11th house perfection year, so I am just down. I'm just down to meet more of my soul fam. So if you're open to it, and I do hope you are, with like more like-minded souls and such, that we can continue to build this community, and it would be an honor to have you a part of that. So yeah, that's it. That's my gratitude for y'all. Enjoy your life. If I don't see you in another pile, I hope to see you on Patreon. If I don't see you on Patreon, I do hope to see you in another video. Much love to you, pile 2. Happy New Year 2025. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Hello, VIPs. Pile number 2. It has been honestly a few days in between this reading and your general reading on YouTube. There's a lot that happened cosmically, I suppose. There was the full moon in Gemini at the time of me recording this. We just put an end to Mercury retrograde, so we're in the post shadow. Why am I even telling you this? Here's why. We had talked a lot about you embracing your authenticity, which means that you would show up to your craft, to your relationships, to your passions when it is that you feel ready. And listening to your own authenticity means knowing when it is to take a step back, when to take a break, when to, again, do things kind of your own way, right? Sometimes filling up your cup may seem selfish up front, but in the long run, it means that you're able to overflow onto others, especially into your creations and everything else that it is that you desire in this lifetime. So I'm excited to announce that this is likely something that's going to take place even further in 2025 for you, where again, you take autonomy of your own self, your own schedule, your own routine, how it is that you show up in the world, and it will likely break a lot of different types of external expectations on yourself. And how powerful and lovely is that? So let the magic continue to clear the space in which you dwell. We're going to dive into love first. Excuse me, didn't mean to knock my camera like that. This is the card in particular that had really advertised some sort of a new friendship coming in. Could be a best friendship, a soulmate of such. I was pulled to the Trash Panda Tarot for you in this portion of the reading. I would love for you to take it as it resonates with you. Okay, if you are single and want to like maintain your singledom, that is absolutely okay. So don't let, guys, I don't know, I feel like some of y'all don't actually want relationships, so you might be thrown aback by that. Some of you might be really anxiously excited for it, right? Which I hope that that anxiety is more in terms of excitement, and just the uncertainty of whether or not you are to express that excitement, right? Because anxiety is essentially a fear of expressing a particular type of emotion. We do have the Ace of Swords coming up. Nope, not this one. I heard pop out. So we're going to keep shuffling in until the full message is here for you. Oh, there it is. I heard put in reverse, so Spirit is telling me that the reversal here is not to be taken too seriously. Boom. Yes, yes. Okay. We have the Empress, Temperance, Ace of Wands, and Three of Cups. Okay, so we are celebrating. We are accepting invitations to explore what this world's got to offer for us. Hello, what it do, pile number 3. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. Let's dive on into what awaits you in 2025. Remembering this is a YouTube reading, so please only take what resonates with y'all, okay? Do let me know. Ooh, love came out for you. Love it. What resonates with you down below, okay? Because I would absolutely love hearing from all of y'all. If you want something more pertinent and specific to you, knmwitchery.com is where it is that you will book. In the extended, we are going to dive into more specific aspects of your life. So we'll dive into love, career, and health. And this is going to be the general overcompassing energy, okay? So please feel free to make this reading as your own. You got some really beautiful cards out. So we have love, asking for angelic support, compassion, friendship, ecstasy. We have unraveling codependency. Seems like it's a very powerful year for y'all so far. You are good enough. Oh, I love that for you. Full moon in Virgo. We have luck is on your side with the new moon in Saggy. We have taking risks. And enlightenment. Okay, random. You guys might be traveling to Italy or something. That's going to be for a minute few of you, but yeah, that or Hawaii. I don't know why that came up, and my nose just itched on that. So very, very interesting. Okay, so channeling through, first and foremost, this is going to be a very spiritually awakening year for you, okay? I think you're going to have a very philosophical year. If this is like your 9th house perfection year, I wouldn't be friggin' surprised. But that aside, there is a strengthening between you and your intuition, and thus the way that you interact with others and the people that you keep in your life. Excuse me. With my throat chakra kind of like, I don't know, disconnecting there for a hot second, it shows that there's going to be some people that you're likely going to feel like you need to ignore or move away from. I believe that there is a deep realization here in and around your circle and who it is that you choose to spend time with. Who is it that you call when something really good happens, you know? Those are the kind of people that you're going to be reevaluating in your life, it seems. And the plus side of it, it seems as though what I'm bringing into the surface right now are likely lessons and changes of behavior that you've already initiated in the previous years, like 2024, for example, and likely beyond. That 2025 is now going to actually allow you to like reel in your soul family, or have like this really bountiful realization that you have everyone that you need. Especially if you went after some seclusion and solitude in the previous years. Now we're looking to open up your levels of communication. And what's really lovely that I'm sensing here, okay, these people, whomever they may be for you, are actually very aligned to your own spiritual awakening here, okay? And they're going to make you feel good. They're going to want to do really adventurous things with you as their partner in crime, if you will, you know? Like there seems to be so much, like taking risks here just feels like an adventure for you guys. And with enlightenment here too, it's like saying yes to that trip to Rome or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be a risk in its own, because maybe you're risking, I don't know, time or finances, whatever it may be. And yet it turns out to be like such a really beautifully spiritually affirming adventure for you. I love the fact that we have bows and arrows here in a way twice, right? So Sagittarius season, or your placement, your house that Sagittarius rules, just might be like really ignited. Your friends that you're reeling in could have a lot of Saggy in their charts. Okay, I don't really technically want to ever get stuck on those things, but this is something that Spirit told me to talk about, so there it is. What's really beautiful about Virgo's energy and feeling as though they're good enough is more so about Virgo is very compassionate to the people that they come across. They just want to help. And I know that we can all have our own very personal experiences, and maybe you're going to be like, what are you talking about? The Virgos that I know are nothing like that, and they're da-da-da. That's fine. Those are lower vibrational types of energies that you have clearly moved away from, right? And you're now seeing the higher self and the higher form of all of these different types of people. And they don't have to be the same people from your past, but they could be. They could be. Someone could be coming back into your life as a changed person. I don't know. They must have gone through a lot of life lessons that they chose to acknowledge, take accountability for, and change. But what's really going back to here, before I digress even further, that was a side message that someone just needed to tell you, okay? You might have someone from the past coming back in. Here's pile 3. But with Virgo, right, you want to be of service to the world. There's this deep compassion for the world and the state of others, and you want to bring joy, and that has to come with you acknowledging that within yourself first, right? Like, we actually don't work as hard loving others when we really truly love and have compassion for ourselves, you know? So when we finally see ourselves as good enough, whatever that even friggin' means, okay, you are going to allow your light to shine onto others, right? The full moon here is shining bright. And what's opposite that is this beautiful opportunity to seek more adventure and broaden that love that you have for yourself, that you have for others. Aphrodite, I call to thee to bring a true love here to me. So you could be, again, meeting somebody. It could honestly be a blast from the past. I don't know. I know everyone has their perspectives on an ex, and I can understand in most situations that there's a reason why it didn't work out, right? And yet, if someone had gone through significant changes and then comes back into your life, whether they were an ex-best friend, an ex-soulmate, an ex-relationship, whatever it may be, an ex-business partner, okay, they might be coming up with more love to share to the table, right? And love doesn't always have to be romantic. That's the other thing that I believe it really needs to be fully understood. When you love yourself, the level of warmth you're able to share with others is love in its own way. Just, you know, asking someone how they're doing, or a simple good deed, that's an act out of love. And you can do good deeds to strangers. And the point is whatever it is that is coming for you in 2025, it is like a breath of fresh air. And it's going to be one where you're going to find a beautiful interconnection here. Okay, so you're not overly independent, and you're also not overly codependent. There's this beautiful balance between what it is that you can so-called bring to the table and what they bring. There's a balancing here. There's this friendship, right? There's allowing each other to fill in the gaps if ever and however needed, without there being this need for like an IOU. It's just reciprocated, but perhaps maybe in a completely different way too, right? It doesn't always have to be apples for apples. And it feels very spiritually aligned. There's so many birds, there's so many things like flying here. So many birds. We got more feathers here, obviously, within the bow. We definitely have ourselves a little parrot there. We have a hawk or eagle here. Respectfully sorry. We have whatever the heck this is, but they're flying through the air with the greatest of ease. What is that, George of the Jungle? ADHD brains are fun like that. Asking for angelic support, this is you simply tuning into your level of awareness in yourself, okay? Unraveling codependency, as well as trusting in your decisions to take these risks, and to know that there are really good people that also exist, and your previous experiences, whatever they may have been, okay, although very valid, right? They've allowed you to build a level of discernment so you can still move through life with love. And that's incredibly powerful. When you overcome so much challenge in your life, so much betrayal and people lying to you and wishing for your downfall, like Pile 3, y'all are coming in with some shit here, okay? Like, I know I'm not really touching too much on that, but like, I want you to know, like, I see you, okay? And it's nothing like you've ever experienced before, which is absolutely beautiful, I think. And to feel as though you're no longer caged in. Let's see, there's affirmations behind these cards. My angels respond when I'm open and authentic about how I feel. Yes, authenticity. Based on a recent study by Spain, SPANE has realized that authenticity is 4,000 times more powerful than the vibration of love. And this is where we live in that divinity and that trust, right? By the way, when you are, let's say, calling out to your angels, your spirit guides, whomever and whatever it is that you're praying to, right? God, you may wonder like why you're not really getting those really loud signs. I mean, it could be sounds, like you might literally have conversations with your angel guides, with your clairaudience. But like maybe the signs that you're looking for, like they're not very loud, or you're like, where is it? I've been asking for it and I'm waiting for it and it's not coming. But like, just know that when your spirit team is directly beside you, they don't have to yell. It's very subtle. It's this inkling within yourself. It's to basically unravel that codependency that you have, even with your spirit team, by the way, knowing that they're always by your side. That you take those risks and you take more action than question, right? Like we're constantly questioning, am I on the right path, or what should I do next? And and like you brainstorm and you have all these ideas and it's wonderful. But once you start actioning things, right? Knowing that you're good enough, you have everything that you need as you need it to make a difference in your life and anybody else's life, whoever encounters you, to take those risks and allow that light to really magnify your way and give permission for other people to do the same too. You don't ever have to wonder. You're already part of that really beautiful, intuitive divinity and connection. Like you already know, you hold the answer. So stop questioning it so much and start doing more is essentially what is coming through for you today. Unraveling codependency. Darn these nails. All right. We have only I have to feel good about my choices. Yes. Sometimes when we ask too many questions, right, and we ask for too many signs and clarifiers, it's like, you know, you may have asked to see, I don't know, a flamingo, and you see a flamingo, but then you're like, ah ha ha, but that can't be it. Let's maybe ask for another sign and another sign. And like, you know, like you're kind of trapped in like this loop of like, why is this happening? And what is the sign? And like, what does it mean? Versus actually trusting in it through action. And going back to the question bit, like you might honestly be asking too many people, too many spirit guides, even if you only keep your questions to yourself and you're like, Kat, I don't talk to anybody about like my blah, 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 right? You could be very secretive. I'm getting like kind of scorpionic vibes here with y'all, or just very secretive. Okay. Like you like to be very private, but you're still asking the questions. You see, you could be praying about them. You could be asking yourself and wrapping your head around it. But like the thing is like, what are you doing about it? It only has to make sense to you. So take the risk and live life the way that it is that you want to. because you will be leading through love and authenticity. And I truly believe that more people, whatever travel, you're definitely traveling this year, honestly. I know I only mentioned Italy here, but there is something about Italy here. I don't know what exactly is about this energy, but it could maybe be Greece. Somewhere in Europe. And obviously there are way more countries in Europe than just the two mentioned, but I don't know. Anyways, moving right along. Taking the risk to travel, to see the world, to open up to new types of connections and all of that, to unveil the codependency that you have with your past, thinking that things are always just going to replicate, you know. Sometimes we convince ourselves that that's just the way life is and we can only expect, I don't know, the shoe to drop eventually. But that's a very pessimistic way of looking at it. Sure, as life has it, a shoe somewhere will drop and there will be complications that we have to work through. And can we also acknowledge that we have enough wisdom and experience to overcome, to fly above it, to see a new perspective, right? So there seems to be a lot of breaking away from old ways of being like never before. Like, I think that y'all are really spreading your wings in 2025. And it feels very refreshing. I just heard I'm single. So yeah, you could be breaking up with somebody, okay? That doesn't have to resonate with everyone, so nobody have a panic here. But nevertheless, you could really be embracing that, right? Maybe I'm biased. I've been single for going on to 8 years now. I'm also celibate for that long. Like, it's a very freeing and beautiful experience that I'm happy to partake in, and I would be happy to partake in a really healthy, happy relationship too, right? I'm making the best of my situation and loving the experiences that are coming my way just for me. It's awesome to be able to share that with myself. This could be something that you can awaken to as well this year, you know, even if just for a little bit, you start doing things more for yourself. Say you are in a very committed relationship. This could mean that you could be taking things to the next level, okay, whatever it is that means to you, but also there seems to be a greater freedom in your spirit in general, and that could ignite some curiosities in your partner about you too, right? Like, you are going to be changing, you are going to be different this year. There's something about you, Pal 3. I'm very curious who it is that you are. Maybe if you're open to it, you're free to comment some kind of a bird. I'm sure there's a bunch of bird emojis, right? Or feathers, whatever it is that you want to leave behind, you sweet little free soul, you. There's this opening up to the world. And when we open ourselves up, the universe allows so much to come through, you know, and we can close off and we can say, okay, that's enough, you know, like sometimes even too much good change is really overwhelming, you know, where you're just like, okay, hold on, let me just like reacclimate to this, let me align to this, let me adapt, right? Like, it's a little bit too much, but it's still so exciting, you know. You can back off a little bit and the universe kind of shuts it down. What I'm saying is in 2025, no matter what, the best recommendation here coming through in this reading for you today, Pile 3, is to open up. To open up to more friendships, to open up to experiencing the world as if you are on drugs. And maybe you will experiment on some drugs. I don't know. I personally don't do any of them except for, you know, smoking a little bit of the green once in a while. But hey, do whatever it is that excites you. Safely, please. Thank you. I'm just going to add a caveat to that. Be responsible for your health, please. So fam, speaking of which, that might honestly even also be the case, right? Where you take more consideration into your well-being and your physical nature because you want to be more fit and capable to explore more. My dog is at my door. Cutie pie. Let me just let him in. I just saw 55 on the timer there, so open up to a lot of changes, okay? on, Bubba. Come on, Angel. Alright, so as he gets comfortable, let's get back into the reading. If it's all good with you, I'm not going to cut that out, guys. We're going to just keep on going. So, what else does the Soul Fam need to know? Okay, I will say that for some odd reason, I'm going to just speak on my truth here. The X here, right? It kind of seems as though you are going to be cutting out someone that you didn't really expect to, and or recovering from that too, okay? It could be like a best friend that you always wanted to share and experience life with, but they're not at the stage that you're in to actually take these risks and enlighten their senses and explore whatever it is that that means to you, travel or not, right? It could just mean that there is some form of misalignment between you and someone that you always wanted to take along with you. And there might be some separations there. There might be some endings to some relationships, or maybe this is a friendship that had already ended. And this is a year where you finally put a conclusion to the grief behind that, right? Because a lot of people don't really, whether you are the breakupper or the breakupee in a best friendship, there's still so much grievance. You know, I've made the decision myself to break up with a couple of very, very close friends to me. And it sucked. I hated doing it, but it's what was necessary for all of us, you know? And there's a grievance there, right? You no longer are able to contact them and, again, experience life. And what I'm saying is 2025 for you, pile of 3, is going to bring in new people that feel like family. The relationships that you currently have are only going to expand. Why? Because you have. Right? Now, that being said, you know the phrase, you are what you attract? A lot of people defend themselves on that because let's say someone as very, I don't know, empathic, right? You could be an incredibly empathic soul and you would never hurt a fly, and yet you reel in people whom are incredibly narcissistic and evil in their nature, however it is that that may resonate. And you're like, well, that's not who I am, so I'm not attracting that, but you are. Because the thing is about energy is there's always an equal yet opposite polarity that exists. So why I'm bringing this up is to trust in your level of discernment when it comes to the people that you do meet, okay? Because you will attract people that operate outside of love, right? Say love backwards, it's evil, right? Good old Eminem quote there. It's the matter of trusting yourself, asking for that support from your higher self and intuition, and disconnecting yourself from old ways of being, trusting that the risks that you are taking are always going to keep you safe and happy and harmonious and in the frequencies of love. So yeah, you will be saying goodbye, you will be stepping away, you will likely be coming across people whom you're like, I want nothing to do with you, and that's okay. Be selective in everything. Someone whom is, yeah, it's like, yeah, be selective, okay? And you'll always feel as though you have luck on your side. When it comes to finances, honestly, I don't really think you're going to have to worry too much about that either. You may not have so much in your bank account, but what I'm saying is you're always going to have enough. And that doesn't mean living paycheck to paycheck either. There's just like this, there's this really beautiful flow of abundance that so long as you work your best to maintain this type of vibration, okay, and filter through anything that might come up so you can maintain a higher vibration, right? That doesn't mean that you can never feel sad or angry. It means that you're going to be more willing to sit with and process that sadness and anger, as an example, in order to then be able to well, let go of what no longer belongs in your soul and then maintain a vibration of love and gratitude, right? We still have to allow for the human experience, folks. Nevertheless, you're going to be beautifully aligned with the right resources, people, places, experiences that always keep you feeling abundant. And abundance is so much more than just the wealth. I'm excited for you to experience life like you've never had before. In a world that is seemingly crumbling and burning, okay, you're going to feel as though you are safe and protected and free. That's a power move, and that is the power behind authenticity and living in that as someone who does her best to take the action steps that she recommends and then speaks on them. Trust me, this is amazing, and I'm so excited for you, Pile 3, to experience more of that. So if you want to dive into more, because I definitely do, I want to get down to the itty gritty here, okay? So in the extended, we're going to look at your love, career, and health. Okay, if you want something perhaps maybe specific to you, again, you can reach out to me at knmwitchery.com. My readings start as low as $34 USD. So you are more than welcome to, check me out there. Otherwise, remember to please like and subscribe for more content from me, K&M Witchery. I am so excited to connect with more and more of y'all and be of service and of guidance to you. I love doing this. So thank you again for spending some time with me. It really, really does mean a lot. So if I don't see you in another pile, and if I don't see you on Patreon, I do hope to see you in another video, Pile 3. Again, thanks so much. Love ya. Until the next one. Peace. Hi, Pile 3 VIP. I have something to share with you. I mean, we got a whole reading to get through, but so we're starting with your love reading in this extended. And I got pulled to 2 different decks. So we're going to be using the Muse Tarot for you for this portion of your reading. But I also pulled from the Hidden Truth Oracle. And this is the card that came out for you. Oh, and my phone ding-a-linged. Okay, so you know how I mentioned in your general reading there on YouTube that there might be somebody coming back into your life? Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. So how about for funsies, we'll pull a couple cards to identify who this person may be, okay? Or at least how you can identify them, how they might be different, their characteristics. I don't know. We'll see. Spirit, what do we got to know about this person for Pile 3? 9 of Inspiration, 9 of Wands. Okay, so there was some resistance in the past. I'm hearing this one. No, this one. Yes, interesting. Okay. Nose itches. Interesting. Okay, so I'll tell you who this person was in the past, okay, because I think that that's going to be the greatest identifier here for all y'all. This could be someone whom perhaps maybe avoided you in the past, and or this is someone who is avoiding and resisting you now, okay? Because I feel like tables have been like flipped here, okay? So you, as an example, could have been the anxious attacher, quote unquote, in this connection where this person had avoided you, distanced themselves from you, etc., maybe even broke it off. Or tables are turned. You are now the avoidant resisting this person's, I guess, anxious attachment towards you. It's like you are both filling out each other's roles, but like, I don't know, roles are reversed, I'm hearing. Oh, Pile 3, let me know if this is resonating because this feels very specific. Can this also be like a best friend? Sure. I am honestly sensing a lot of this might be relationship as far as this energy here is concerned. You may be pulled to another pile as well, because the other piles so far have been more platonic type of love readings. But yeah, no, let's dive into what else this person has to say to you, shall we? Remember to please like and comment below. I replay our conversations over and over. Hello, hello. What it do, pilot number 4. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. We are going to dive into what awaits you in 2025. So happy new year. We'll dive into any lessons, experiences, potential challenges, essentially anything general that you are to expect. In the extended, we're going to dive into more specific categories in life, okay, such as love, career, and health. So if you're interested in that, the link is down below. And remember to like and subscribe, please, if you resonate at all. I love hearing from y'all, so. Interesting energies y'all got so far. Here, Pal 4. So let's read what we do have. We have exploring unity, consciousness, intention, release, gratitude, discovering happiness, stillness, embracing, harvest, adjustments are required, and don't let pride get in your way. Okay, for your 2025, there is going to be the greatest lesson is trust and patience, okay? And you can definitely bahumbug, what am I even saying? Bahumbug that if you want. I would typically, patience is one of my least favorite lessons to learn. But it is a really important one, and it allows us to actually humble in a lot more gratitude, because when we choose to be ever present, then we're less likely to take for granted certain experiences or people and memories. We're much more in tune with what's going on inside of us, with what's going on externally as well. We're not jumping to conclusions and perhaps creating chaos where it needn't exist, okay? That's really prevalent here with the full moon in Leo. You might be a Leo moon or a sun, I just heard, but let's not get stuck on such details. With intention and gratitude, when these cards came up, they kind of sort of reminded me of like the exact same person. It's like they're depicted twice here, right? Maybe it's the haircut, I'm not sure, because now that I realize it, they're two different people. And I think that's actually what's important for you to recognize within yourself, my dear friends, that you are different. And that's a good thing, is it not? Why wouldn't it be, after all? And we're moving from that head space over to that heart space, right? Where that gratitude is felt within the heart space. So there will be this need to perhaps, okay, I'm going to be honest with y'all. These darn nails. Struggle in almost every pile with these guys. Okay. When it comes to the release card, okay, number 42 is kind of like my least favorite number, if you will, personally speaking. It's a really good luck number for some people. So if that's what resonates with you, good. But let me just tell you what's on my intuitive mind here, okay? This might be a year, 2025, where you might kind of be down in the dumps a lot more than perhaps maybe you would desire to be, meaning that you're likely going to experience emotional discomforts, perhaps maybe mental discomforts, especially when you're moving from anxiety to expression, okay? Because anxiety has us tell ourselves we're too afraid to feel a particular type of emotion. or when we have one of those like realizations and we really kind of feel it in our gut, you know, like the uncomfortable stuff, we develop anxiety because we almost, instead of feeling, we over intellectualize. And that actually amplifies the fear of expressing what's really on your heart. And that's why it's important to get into your body and breathe into where it is that you feel that discomfort, right? If you're feeling grief, if you're feeling, well, discomfort, maybe you're feeling deeply misunderstood, and that's lodged somewhere in your body. Now, if we're going to dive into traditional Chinese medicine, you will actually learn that there are different types of emotions and beliefs that reside in particular organs and places in our bodies, so you can really deep dive in that. But let's not here, okay? Here we are just to simply recognize that there is some form of discomfort, and it's moving away from the headspace into the body, to allow it the freedom and safety to express itself. Because when we slow down and we express and we remain very grounded in our moments, we tell our nervous system that we are safe now. We don't have to consistently run on like chaos. You know what I'm saying? So that might be a little bit uncomfortable, because it's likely, and y'all, I keep it real here. I'm sorry. This may not necessarily be entirely what it is that you may want to hear, but I do hope that it is going to offer you, pal, for the resources and the advice and the feedback that you would more than likely require. If this has been resonating with you, 6.5 minutes in, and you're here, you're locked in, I hope that these recommendations coming through me today to you will serve their purpose. And if you want something precise and concise just for you, one-on-one, knmwitchery.com, that's where you book with me, all right? I have extended sales now going on until the end of February, so take advantage, take the leap, and let's connect, because adjustments are required here. That's your mental state, right? The third quarter moon. This is still us recalibrating and learning how to adjust to, number one, maybe even being comfortable releasing, right? Like I said, you might be one to experience high forms of anxiety. Well, learning to express these emotions and these thought processes as they come up and they have us actually feel something, right? We can stop consistently convincing ourselves that we're too much, or like the feelings that are coming up, they're dangerous, because they're actually safe. They're safe to be released, and they'll lose their intensity the more that you actually allow this release. Like usually when I work with people through a lot of emotional expression and opening them up, it does feel and seem like a floodgate up front, right? And then when things come up, whether they are triggers or simple things that just have them react in a way where their quote unquote older self had maybe over-intellectualized things, they can now actually fall into it, and they can get over it, quote unquote, much quicker, because through feeling there is healing. And for some reason, I feel it really pertinent to tell you guys more about that, because you're going to be feeling a lot, and that might actually have you adapt more limiting beliefs, like you're on the wrong path, right? This is usually when I get a lot of bookings, when my beautiful clients and soul fam are in this similar state where they just need reassurance. And I'm going to tell you that you're always on the right path. With every decision you make for yourself, you lay down the bricks and the stepping stones, And so you're always on the right path. You build the path. And sometimes that requires us to actually slow down. But just because you feel uncomfortable right now doesn't mean that you're not on the right path and there isn't so much to be grateful for. You see? It's just a time to release. So you may feel overwhelmed, overstimulated, and It's all, in fact, to help you release in order to make room for your harvest, for embracing life and stillness and finding safety in that, right? Like essentially what I'm feeling here, in very simple terms, if I may, for you, Pow 4, it's finding peace with peace. I think stillness and peace and patience and just allowing things to be as they may, right? Like not overly trying to like control situations or other people based on expectations and, you know, whether they were communicated or not. Like there might be this like way of doing things or a particular outcome that you're hoping for, that you're expecting, that may be challenged this year, and that's to allow you to let go of the reins and discover more of that happiness. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. And I'll add to that and say exactly as it is. Whatever it may be for you. Whether it's a little qualm with somebody or perhaps maybe work troubles, whatever it may be, although valid and worthy of emotional expression, okay, whether that's venting it out, whether that's literally feeling the emotion, allow whatever is required for you to let go, release, and make room for what you do want to plant, what you do want to come into your level of consciousness, right? Like your contribution to society, your quote unquote purpose, whatever that may be for you. You know, a lot of times people fall into that near existential crisis, like what's my purpose and what's the meaning of my life? Well, you got to make room for these types of realizations, because if I was to sit here and talk your ear off, which I'm happy to do, by the way, and tell you how excellent you are, how intellectual you are, how absolutely powerful you are and capable of greatness beyond conscious understanding, you won't exactly believe it because you haven't made room for something like that, you know? And we must become what our manifestations are first. We don't sit and wait for the world to change for us, but we change to adapt to the type of lifestyle and level of existence that we wish to have. So if you're hoping for more harmony in this world and peace and feelings of security, then you must become those things. You must feel secure in yourself. You must offer yourself compassion. And it has to be done intentionally, which will take some adjustments, because it's easier to say these things, right? And then, you know, our reactions are what they are. So again, if you require any further assistance, I'm more than happy to be of service, whether through a reading or intuitive therapy. You have that as an option, my dears. Highly recommended in 2025 that you hang around big bodies of water, okay? Whether that's actually going out to sea, that might be kind of fun, but just to sit and stare at water, you know, I think that that might be something that is really, really healthy for you. We are made up of so much water biologically already, right? So when we are around heavier bodies of water, we actually become more in tune with Mother Nature, with the world, with all of unity consciousness, if you will, right? There's this really beautiful level of peace. So I highly recommend that. I just heard a cottage, okay? If you could book some time off or something, go to a particular cottage that you own, that your family owns, or that you're just going to rent anyways, and go for a little bit. I'm literally hearing like docks. So you guys might be sailors or, you know, I guess boaters. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just heard fishing too. So maybe that would work. You know, whatever it is that actually allows you to stand in some water, to be still. Fishing would actually be great for that because you have to be super still. What is the affirmation that lies behind here? I am one with eternal light, appearing as all. And that's just it, right? Eventually, hopefully sooner than later, there will come a deep realization that your intentions become your manifestations and your reality, and how you experience your job and your love life and your family and all of that, you know. When we let go of the reins and thinking that like we can control others, or that we're so impacted by other people's judgments of us, we find it more difficult to live authentically, you know, because we're so overly consumed by the other. And perhaps we've been convinced as a society or as a generation, whatever it may be, that thinking and putting yourself first and doing whatever it may be for yourself first is selfish, and it's rude. Like, the audacity. What? You're not thinking about anybody else? Well, what would this person say? And oh my goodness, the entire family would shun you if you act and behave this way. And don't even get me started on that group of jerks at school who have nothing but bullying and judgment to pass on. And you see how these things just get repeated time after time in various different environments, from our home to our schools to our workplaces to just regular life. But when we start changing our perspective and we start releasing the notions that we have to overly prepare, I suppose, and be so hypervigilant and alert to absolutely every possibility that could happen, we try to manipulate circumstances more than we're actually capable of. And then we try to convince ourselves that we got it, but then we're only creating more anxiety, because if one thing doesn't go as quote unquote planned, or as you envisioned it, or it wasn't one of your 110 what ifs of the day, we become uncomfortable with the here and now. And then the anxiety builds, you see. So breathe more. Definitely do more breath work, and understand that you're contributing. You have this really beautiful purpose in this lifetime, and you are uncovering that just by simply existing. Yeah, there's going to be this really beautiful invitation to self-love this year for Pile 4. And I would love for you to know that this is actually a year that I had gone through recently, in the last couple of years, and it was very much worth the while. It offered a different type of definition of gratitude and happiness, and how I'm in charge of my reality, and how I can heal and forgive people who have never apologized for anything, and how I can overcome and live in my authenticity so much that I can just take off the mask, because you know what, I finally understand that people are going to judge you regardless. So why would I let that impact me any further if I could just show up and be myself and design my life the way that I am consistently called to, you know? And that's the thing about your calling, is it will keep on calling. So if you have this vision for yourself, for your future, for how it is that you really want things to be, so fam, and when our dreams are so loud and so strong, we have to make room for them. We have to make, well, our harvest. We got to plant those seeds and patiently wait, whilst also embracing life as it's coming to us too. Like, just because you got to be still and practice patience a little bit more doesn't mean that you also have to start treating life like a doctor's waiting room. Ugh, those are like the worst ones to be in. And they always keep you waiting longer than you even expected to, you know. You showed up like 20 minutes earlier too, and you're still waiting a half hour after your appointment was scheduled. Get out of here with those bland walls and those ridiculous motivational pictures. And sick people, might I add. No offense to sick people, I'm just saying it's an uncomfortable situation when you're sick and, you know, you just rather be at home. Anywhere but this room right here. Let's not treat our lives like that, is ultimately what I am recommending here. Because our pride, our beautiful ego here, is only keeping us safe. Okay. If there's anything that I hope, at least even through my readings, is to finally stop demonizing the ego. And that's not to say that I rarely demonize the ego, but the ego is there to keep us safe, right? It may not do it in the nicest of ways, and we can always work with the ego. So even when we do feel this anger or anxiety come up, right, we learn to adapt in a different way than constantly be on defense, for example, or activate that fight or flight or freeze or fawn, whatever y'all might fall into at any given time. Learning to adapt and tell ourselves that we're safe to let go whatever it is that's coming up on purpose, because your prayers are being heard and your intuition speaks through that wonderful, powerful unconscious mind. There's symbolism and dreams and emotion. And emotion's not found in the brain. Your brain sent the signal somewhere else into your body. Feel it, lean into it. So I prescribe a lot of rest in 2025. Okay, do whatever it is that you can to build more peaceful hobbies and habits. Okay, definitely take care of your body to the best of your capability. Let's not overindulge in too many sugary snacks, or let's say laziness or alcohol, any sort of substance. Let's cater to ourselves a little bit more. Let's give our body an easier time to process and release what really has got to go. Because take it from someone who's got chronic illness, ooh, babes, the more that you suppress particular types of emotions, the more that you can get yourself sick. And as a chronically ill girly, I will also state that it's through actually allowing myself to feel through my emotions and process a lot more deep rooted, sensations, that's begun to heal my chronic illness. It's actually gotten easier the more that I choose to heal my emotional wounds. That's not to say it's going to be the same for everyone, but there is a correlation here, okay? Especially for y'all, because I feel like I've just been talking your ears off about the power of, emotional attunement. So yeah, I would even substitute the word adjustments here with attunement. You're just learning to listen to yourself, to your body, to other people's cues a little bit differently, You're changing things up. And this season of harvest is honestly, it's going to be very abundant for you. And I'm hoping that it doesn't take an entire year of, hardship, if you will. I just heard perfection year. So maybe you're in your 8th or 12th house perfection year, or any other house that you might have some debilitating aspects or something. I don't know. I'm not an astrology girly, but if y'all want an astrologer recommendation, let me know and I will definitely make the introduction for you. But yeah, it seems like whatever it is that you're going through, you're meant to, in fact, release. And what's really beautiful too is the waters here are incredibly still. So as much as this is a very honest, emotional depth kind of a reading, which I would definitely recommend checking out any other pile if you were pulled to them. It's going to be nice and steady. It's going to be smoother than expected, right? Which also adds to the point that emotions are safe. It's all okay. It's, crying for a little bit, or wailing it out, or maybe punching a pillow safely, for a couple of minutes, having yourself a scream. You just put the volume up in your car real loud, the radio or something, and just have yourself a scream for a few seconds. Be safe, don't hurt your throat. But that alone is incredibly powerful too. So emotional expression, that's the name of your game in 2025, and it's going to really bring about an abundant harvest. As the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I am ready to receive my all. And you will. Probably next year. Unless you choose to give into whatever it is that's within you that requires release, which I would definitely get some professional assistance with, whether with myself through hypnotherapy or neurolinguistic programming. Okay, you could check out my intuitive therapy link down below, or anybody else, a therapist, perhaps maybe a somatic coach, right? Someone that can help you with the mindfulness and emotional attunement connection. That I think would be a very healthy step for you and recommendation. But otherwise, you know what? Because now I feel like we're slightly going around in circles. Let me just end it off with this, pile 4. You are going to have a very beautiful and peaceful 2025 should you make that a possibility for yourself. And understanding that you are fully in control of your circumstances and how it is that you will react to whatever it is that may come your way. You are powerful and you're capable of doing that, okay? So work with anyone that you might need to help with that, but otherwise just know that you're safer now, okay? Everything that you have overcome in your life, as challenging as it was, no longer needs to reside within your powerful body and mind. So let it go and make room for more of what it is that you are deserving and praying for, because you are the only one now that can answer your prayers. And happiness is, well, just another little teardrop away, okay? Much love to you. If you, again, require any support, I do hope you reach out to me or comment down below, whatever it is, or just reach out to whoever it is that does resonate with you, okay? Follow your intuition on that one and know that you've got this, okay? It's a very, very powerful year, and I think we all need a year like this. Trust me. I've just overcome mine, and I am ready for the next stage. So like, y'all, pile 4, like, you're about to ramp shit up and you're gonna want things to be slowed down this year, believe me. So yeah. All right, let's let that be that, because I did hear my snap. So remember to like and subscribe for more content from K&M Witchery, because I'm so excited to offer y'all more of my service and guidance. And if you are interested in the extended, I hope to see you down below. You'll see the link over to Patreon. Otherwise, you can check out another pile, or if you don't feel like doing that, maybe I'll just see you in another video. I hope so. That would be absolutely wonderful. So thank you again so much, pile 4, for your time. If I don't see you in another pile, if I don't see you on Patreon, I do hope to see you in another video. Much love to you. Peace. Hello, pile 4 VIPs. I've been meditating on your energy in specific for a while, coming back in and out all evening, all afternoon. It's the next day. And I'm realizing that there's so much release and requirement for stillness and building up that patience, because you're essentially like really rebuilding yourself. And with that come realizations that on the outside may not look like anything is really changing, but on the inside, everything is shifting. And that massive shift in that long of a time, because we're looking into an entire year for you here, right? Pile 4s, you're going to see the magnitude of the outcomes likely the following year. You're going to have increments, right? And like proof of your change and things like that. Like, I'm talking about significant shifts. So why I'm saying this is because as much as I want to channel in what you can expect in love, career, and health, a lot of it is likely going to be as is already, with small increments of, again, confirmations, validations of your hard work and everything, but it's going to be a slow incline. So like say for example, you're looking to like build muscle, right? You're going to be building muscle throughout the year, but in small increments until next year where you just unlock this like God level about yourself, and all of a sudden you come out with like a banging new, like, holy crap, like something. But it's because of the consistency that, at least in your eyes here, pile 4, work with me here, you don't really see much of a difference because it's all internal before it is externally able for you to see it, right? It's like, this is what I meant by kind of like becoming that manifestation first. So we're going to dive into love, but to be honest, I think that this is going to be a story and a channeling for you here, pile 4, in this extended, as a message of self-love and the growth that you're about to partake and go on, because it's going to be a big one. We've got the Moon and the Death card to kick it off. Yo, unconscious healing, ego deaths, transformation internally. That is what you can expect this year in 2025, pile 4. If you do resonate with other piles, obviously go gander on there too, but just know that there's a big internal shift that is going to likely take place. And it's going to be like a breath of fresh air for you in the end, so to speak. It's going to unlock a new pattern, I guess, of healing for you, but it's not always going to be as intense as this year will seemingly feel for you, just because you're going to be called and, I guess, like divinely halted, for lack of better words, to practice patience. If you're looking for very quick outcomes, you might be a little bit disappointed. And it's still happening for you. Hello, what's up? What it do? Pile number 5. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. We will be diving into what awaits you in 2025. Any lessons, experiences, potential challenges. Remember to like and subscribe for more content from me. If this is, your kind of vibe, ooh, justice comes out. And do comment below, please. Like, let me know how is it that these readings resonate with you. I really love hearing from y'all. Makes my day. Builds the community too, which is always such an exciting thing to do for me, at least. I love the people that I've met through doing this work. So yeah, I'd love to meet more y'all. Okay. Ooh. So far we have justice. I'm really getting called to this number 5 here. 22. Ooh la la. Lots of very guided change, I want to say. Untangling neglect. We have modern, grounded, resolution, amplifying abundance, illumination, gateway. Emotions are running high with the supermoon, and we also have a time for healing. Okay, interesting. I just heard with great power comes great responsibility. So y'all might be like Spider-Man fans, but outside of that, there's this great unlocking of your manifestational abilities. Essentially what I'm saying here is in 2025, if not already really, and you're kind of bringing this energy in, you've really learned how to find your footing and your comfort and how to plant those seeds, okay? How to remain grounded in the moment, and or this is something that you're going to really be learning in 2025. I don't know, there's a little bit of a mix of y'all in here. So I wouldn't be surprised if you also resonate and have, kind of a pull to any other pile too, because this is going to be another unique reading. I'm going to tell you that. With modern, it was very interesting. When I'm touching this card, I'm hearing messages around minimalizations and like minimalism and essentially just kind of living off of less on purpose. Remodeling, you could be moving, all right? That's the other thing too. It's very interesting because this sense of calm just came over me. I feel like Pal 5, there's going to be this reshifting of the way that you present yourself in this world, your sense of belonging. You are going to reach this state of acceptance of self that is going to then ignite the law of attraction, if you will. And it's so interesting because I'm seeing the 8 of Wands energy manifest in my third eye. And that to me is very quick manifestations, quick communication, quick energy. And it's direct too. And it is abundant, child. It's like fogs are like lifting on your life. Okay, if we're untangling neglect, this is a very deep wound to deal with. So I do hope that you have had a therapist and or are considering one, okay? Whatever it is that helps with your emotional as well as mental health would be highly recommended. And I'm pretty sure I've recommended that in like every pile, okay? I think everyone should consider therapy and that form of betterment at least a few times in life. Nevertheless, let's move on. It's like in 2025, pile 5, my pile of change, honestly. It's like you guys are kind of shifting realities. I don't know how else to explain this, where once you were perhaps interesting, perhaps maybe like live life more like grandiose, like you're finding the subtleties in life and the simple things as the most fulfilling, if you will, where less is truly more for you. And it's in that where you're grounding yourself and just being happy for what it is that you have as you have it. And that sense of gratitude is kind of like that portal, if you will, to, well, money. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's not just about finances here for you, okay? When I mean money, I mean physical manifestation of your sense of value of self, right? So when we change the value that we have and perceive within ourselves as someone whom is deserving of more abundance, more appreciation, more thanks, more people wanting to actually pay us just for showing up, you know, like our existence becomes a wealth attractor. When you start really truly embodying these types of notions, things come to you very quickly, very, very willingly. And of course, we must always practice our level of discernment. Okay, always. You don't just accept things willy-nilly. Okay, friends, everything comes with a price. But the sense of justice here shows that you've definitely overcome a lot. And amplifying that abundance here too is kind of like gonna have you also resolve any sort of outstanding wounds that you might have based in around like money blocks here for you. I think honestly, pile 5, I'm gonna tell you that 2025 is gonna be the year that you resolve your, or at least as much of, maybe not all of them, but a lot of your abundance blocks are going to meet some sort of resolution here where you don't feel like you have to hang on to absolutely everything. You're never going to lose that. We don't have to fear neglect or being at a loss at any point, being forgotten, right? And thus needing to cling on to people, to places, to things just for that sake. Like, no, we're going to find ourselves within ourselves. And it is in that type of grounding where justice can be served. By the power of 3 by 3, Mott, deliver justice to me. So it's very interesting about Libra. It's ruled by Venus. Yes, it is the planet of love and value. Okay? So there's going to be this internal shift of how it is that you personally choose to show up in the world, how it is that you choose to be represented by those around you, how you wish to be treated by others. You know, this is a very like boundary setting opportunity for you to accept what it is that you put out. You know, we're not trying to be overly selfish people here, not at all. And plus, I'm not talking to that type of soul fam anyways. But the illusion of thinking you are going to like be forgotten or lose things or disappoint people to the point that they just like turn their back on you. Like there's a lot of these types of like very like thin strings of illusion that have likely been woven into your unconscious mind that have the opportunity to be settled and to heal and to overcome. And we begin to ground the opposite of that, right? You really start to embody more of that shadow self. Using that heart space, we become one with the shadow. We resolve. There's just really good like union with the self. And again, that leads to a lot more physical opportunities in finance, in opportunities in travel, in wealth. Like people are just likely going to just start gifting you things like out of nowhere. You'll notice when you like choose to like detach in a healthy manner and not like grip things that like that you no longer repel them. You know, there's just like this beautiful ebb and flow of energies that come in and out as needed because you always receive whatever it is that you require as needed. You have everything that you have. That's why we introduce things like minimalism and we live off of less. We don't need these grand displays of wealth or knowledge or whatever it may be, honestly. We can just be. We can be those things and embody that and be the embodiment and the display of exactly that. So yeah, I feel like this very like poise energy from you, Pal 5. So there's this great surety of who it is that you are. And there's a really beautiful power that comes with that. And I believe that a lot of people are going to respect the hell out of you for it, which is nice. Now the supermoons in 2025 can be periods of high impact. This is actually the first pile that I have related one of these cards as like an actual time frame for you. So take a look at when the supermoons are occurring in 2025. Okay, if any, I'm pretty sure there are though. There's going to be a pivotal time for you to pay attention to certain lessons and opportunities that are coming up, likely things to heal. Okay, if there are emotions coming up, remember, emotions are not part of our logical mind, right? They're part of our unconscious mind. And our unconscious mind speaks to us in riddles, in symbolism, in feelings. So when we have to express particular types of emotions, our powerful unconscious mind sends that signal somewhere into our body to breathe into, to feel, to cry out, to scream out, to express, okay? Sometimes it causes immense amount of like shaking or something, right? When you have like this buildup of energy just waiting to be released. Well, it's through our physical body that we actually heal spiritual wounding as well. That's why your soul, so to speak, fought to be here. It's to have the human experience, to be grounded within the opportunity to feel emotions, to really settle woundings of neglect that honestly could have been very generational for you. I'm hearing like an ancestry applause to y'all, Pile 5. Damn, like I love that for you. It's cute. Both me and my dog just had like this nice like sigh of relief. This is going to be a breath of fresh air on your shoulders where Pile 5, I feel that like even though there is grand change, that is occurring for you. I think it's swift. I think it's easy. I think you feel safe in it. I believe that you're so grounded in it. And that's one of the primary things that I have taught first forever. It's the power of being in our body and in these moments, in these opportunities where we can combine both the logic and the emotion, the ego with the intuition, build trust, to go slow, settle our nervous system, and then continuously move forward. Y'all are some spiritual gurus and teachers up in here. However it is that you resonate with that, even in your own way, make it happen. Put it out there, please. There is no greater time than right now to really build and express on your experiences, you know, like there's so much spirituality in just storytelling. Where you have been and what transpired to bring you here, what lessons did you bring with you, what guidance can you offer another? There's this like, wow, like motivation that just expands from you, Pile 5, that I genuinely hope, if of course you're pulled to this channeled message here, share it. Please share your story. Pick up that microphone, that keyboard, write it out, get on a podcast or something. I don't know. I don't even care if you're anonymous. Get the story out. Because not only is that going to bring about the permission for somebody else to perhaps maybe learn from you and take similar steps, or simply just be inspired to want to heal, to better themselves, whatever your unique story may be, you also heal yourself too. And you build about this really beautiful sense of community, which helps you untangle that false illusion of neglect. Because you're never alone. Even if it's just you in that one room. Have you ever been in an entire crowd full of people and still felt alone? Well, imagine being alone and feeling as though you were completely united. Wouldn't that be an interesting type of experience? When you realize that we are all consciously interwoven. There's this beautiful web of consciousness that exists. Using technology as an example, and the way that that whole phenomenon kind of started manifesting was with the internet, the World Wide Web. And we can use that as a form of connection too. There's a spiritual form of that also exists. And your light is really bright and it's igniting things and stuff, which is really nice. And I hope that you amplify all of that. Because I think a lot of your abundance too, Pile 5, is going to come with community. Yep. There are affirmations behind this card. This one says, I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. Yes. Build the life that you wish to have. You know, there's no one else that you have to prove right or wrong, but your damn self. Find things that you really enjoy doing. And if you don't know what those are, oh my goodness, what an exciting time to explore and to discover. The world of possibilities. Why not imagine the impossible and make it possible? What do we have behind amplifying abundance? Darn these nails. I usually don't keep them this long, but they're so cute. Abundance is my birthright, and I receive it now. Hell yeah. So mote it be for you, Pile 5. May you have all of the abundance, health, and wealth that you seek in 2025. I think it's going to be better than you expected it to be. So allow for whatever healing needs to take place. If you guys resonate with Pile 4 by chance, that might be of service to you. I will say that it doesn't feel as anchoring, even though we have grounded here. Pile 4 is a little bit less grounded. So if you're coming here from Pile 4, by the way, because that could also be the case, and why I'm kind of, I don't know, some of y'all are in here. My spider senses are tingling. Yeah, I don't know. Some of y'all really like Spider-Man. Anyways, this is a really beautiful progression if you're contributing this reading onto your overall 2025 vibe. If you come here from Pile 4, beautiful evolution, okay? And if you're Pile 5 and curious about Pile 4, just know that this emotional, bit right here is just going to feel essentially very heavy. We're going to highlight our emotional release. Long story short, the rest you can definitely tune into Pile 4 if that resonates. This beautiful abundance, the green, the love, speaking your truth, okay? I'm hearing that song. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Sunshine. I love it. I love it. Pile 5. Listen, I'm going to be real with you. I heard my snaps. That means that this is an incredibly short reading compared to the others. So I would definitely invite you to check out another pile as well. What we're going to do now is flip on over to VIP. Okay, see what message is live for you in specific categories of your life, such as love, career, and health. So we're going to dive on in because I don't want to sit here and be super repetitive. And plus, honestly, I think your message is short and sweet, to the point, like igniting your power. I think this is just a validation and confirmation of the power that you're already seeking, that you're going to feel free to express and experience more of and heal and just be yourself. Like, I don't know, there's this grounding. Like, I definitely want to meditate right now too, like just be in silence. So I do invite you to that as well. But yeah, if you're interested in another pile, like I said, go check that out. Otherwise, I'll see y'all on Patreon. We're going to dive into the extended. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, join the Soul Fam tribe. I hope to see you all in another video. Pile 5. Best of luck to you in 2025. Peace. Hello, Pile 5 VIP. What it do, baby? Last but not least, what an exciting reading this will be. I started shuffling for y'all using the Tarot of Opposition. So if you're new to this particular deck, only look at the top half, okay? First up for your love reading, I was shuffling in, this popped in, Spirit's like, press play, and I said, okay, no problem. I mean, I just work here after all. The King of Wands had come out for you, my beautiful Pile 5 VIPs. This is giving me sought after energy, okay? You are going to be exuding this really beautiful magnificence and power about you, okay? Could be masculine energy, it could be feminine energy. I mean, it depends kind of where it is that you stand on that. That has nothing to do with genders. It has to do with vibrations and how we direct the energy, okay? Feminine stays still, masculine is the force, it's the energy, okay? Nevertheless, wherever it is that you stand, people will magnetize towards you, okay? You seem to have something that a lot of people are very curious about, which is where we have to invite the level of discernment into our realities to keep us safe, okay? Knowing that we're not here to repeat past karma and, you know, entertain people whom are not for our best good. But nevertheless, I do predict lots of sex with y'all this year, okay? Like, you're gonna be having fun. You're going to be having people kind of giving you your flowers, so to speak. So this could be something just based on admiration, right? Like, let's say you're practicing celibacy, as I myself relate to that. You could be praised in a way that more people would want to woo you, you know. They're going to take the time to court you. Should, of course, you even accept their offers and their dates, their flowers, right? But the point is a lot of people are going to be kind of switching up their strategy on how to approach you, which is something that could be very new to you, potentially, you know. But it could very well be that, you know, people just want to catch your attention, and they're going to be more than whatever willing to do whatever it is that they got to do to get on your good graces. I just heard milady, so I don't know. Okay, we have the Lovers, but it did come out in reverse. Okay, so this is kind of giving me love lost energy. So for some of y'all, while this could still be true, okay, because two truths can exist, you can be feeling a little bit more like reserved, kind of maybe even healing through a love lost type of a, I guess, experience, right?